Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so I made an app, and this app is called Trinity Capital. And what Trinity Capital is, it's an app that's designed to teach high school age students how to properly manage their money. And given that this was my first project app, there were a lot of things that I did that I could have just done way better. So I'm going to go through 5 of those things today. And this is my first unscripted video on this channel, so we'll see how this goes here. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to try out. So first thing is, I didn't actually plan. Okay, so when it came to Trinity Capital, I free-handed everything. I free-handed the UI, I free-handed the backend, I free-handed the tech stack, I free-handed everything. And this caused so many countless hours of unneeded downtime. Oh my goodness, y'all. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to actually plan your apps before you make them, okay? Like for example, with the UI, I had an image in my head of what I wanted it to look like, kind of, but because I didn't have it written down anywhere, because I didn't have any drawn anywhere, it didn't really, when I actually developed it, it didn't actually come out the way that I actually wanted it to. So, and it's the same thing with the tech stack, The tech stack that I went with was just plain old vanilla JavaScript with a little bit of jQuery, Node.js, Express.js, and MongoDB. The thing about it is that I didn't know what tech stack I was going to be using before I made the app. So I kind of just had to figure everything out. And when I figured everything out, I had to figure out how this all was supposed to play together. And when you're making an app like this, you shouldn't have to just figure it out. So guys, just please plan your apps. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the next thing is I was taking lessons at the time for both oh my goodness, okay. I was taking lessons at the time for both full stack web development and JavaScript, right? And when I was making the app, there were several instances where I became stuck for a very long time because the skill that I needed to finish that part of the app was in my lessons. I just hadn't gotten there yet. If you're taking lessons, if you're taking Udemy courses and things like that, and you haven't finished them yet, finish them. Trust me, it will be so much better for you in the long run. Oh my goodness, there was one issue that I had when I was making the demo for Trinity Capital. I still remember it to this day. Okay, so what happened was I was having an issue with local storage because the demo runs totally off of local storage, right? And I kept getting these 1 or 2 errors. And no matter how I changed the code, these errors just wouldn't go away. And I come to find out later that the reason why I was having so much trouble is because I didn't really know what I was doing. But you know what? It was in my lesson. If I had just waited and did my lessons, I would have figured all that out so lot sooner. That one particular bug on the demo took me 3 months to bug because I didn't just complete my lessons first. I don't think I've ever heard of a bug that takes 3 months to solve. But anyway, I solved it and it's all good now. Okay, so this only applies like 2020 upwards, right? Or 2022 upwards, whenever ChatGPT came out. But I didn't use ChatGPT for what it was supposed to be used for. ChatGPT is a great tool, and if you're a programmer and you're not using ChatGPT, this might be a little bit controversial to say, but what are you doing, dude? ChatGPT is great, and it's a great tool. But the thing about it is that, and I'll cover this here in a minute, you gotta use ChatGPT for what it's supposed to be used for, right? In this case, it's really good at giving you ideas, and it's really good at giving you a basic rundown of things, right? So if you want to get ideas for an app or get ideas for a tech stack that you could use, that sort of thing, or get some help with general planning, ChatGPT is great for that. But you know what it's terrible at? Actually writing code. And that brings me to my next point. I overused ChatGPT a lot for actual code, and it gave me tons of headaches, right? And you know why? Because unless you give ChatGPT very specific instructions and it understands all of how your code works, which for a huge app like Trinity Capital, you really can't do, it's not going to work. It's going to give you broken code, and it's going to give you code that's going to break your app. And I learned this firsthand. Oh my goodness, there were so many times where I wanted to chuck ChatGPT to the moon because I was using it to write my code for me and it didn't work because it didn't understand how my code actually worked. Oh my goodness, I'm laughing now, but it was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. So yeah, ChatGPT is great. Don't use it to actually write your code. Okay, and this is my final one because this is going to be a little bit of a quick video. I did not take enough breaks. Okay, I wanted to get Trinity Capital done, right? Because Trinity Capital is like the basis of my company right now, and I'm still trying to get it sold. Well, not the company, Trinity Capital. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, so I spent hours and hours and hours and hours behind the keyboard just hammering away and hammering away and hammering away and hammering away. Ironically, it got to the point where I had to code another program in that forced me to take a break after an hour. I wrote code that forced me to stop writing code. It's super ironic, but it's really cool. How it worked is that it connected to a web server, and every hour it would basically block me from being able to do anything else on my application until my break was up, right? And it forced me to take 15-minute breaks every hour. So I've explained all this, but why is it important to take breaks in the first place? It's important to take breaks in the first place because oftentimes if you're stuck on a bug or something like that, taking a break is the mental reset that you need in order to figure it out. And I learned that a lot. If you take good enough breaks, you'll probably end up figuring out whatever it was you needed to figure out in the first place. Okay, so that was quick. But yeah, that was 5 foo-bars that I went through when I was developing Trinity Capital. But Trinity Capital is a great application now, at least in my opinion. But there's still a little bit left to go on it. I'll be posting some more stuff about Trinity Capital in the future, so stay tuned for that. But keep coding and stay sane.